Hey everyone, it's Prithvi Organam here, and this is my review for Lover, the new film directed by Prabhuram Vyas and starring Manikandan and Sri Gauri Priya in the lead roles. Easily a 10 out of 10, one of the best films of this year, but I will say be a little bit cautious before watching this movie because it might trigger some feelings within you if you've had an experience of this sort in terms of being in a toxic relationship or being in a bad situation in terms of love. But I feel like this is a necessary watch for anyone that's ever been in a relationship like this because a little bit of a spoiler alert, but not really giving away the story. Even after all of these things that happen to the characters in this film, and even after all of these things that could happen to anyone in real life, there is a light at the tunnel for both people. And there is some sort of hope in terms of moving on and learning from this relationship or any relationship of this sort in general. Now, to talk about the actual movie itself, it really reminded me of Kachu Veljede, which I think is one of the best films of the last decade or so. But I feel like the reason why a lot of people didn't like the movie and maybe still don't like it till this day is because I think a lot of people thought it was going to be like a Maunaragam or Alepayade or Oke Kanmani from Maniratnam. So I really appreciated the fact that Maniratnam did a story like that, showing a toxic relationship and also showing a toxic individual that just did not even realize what he was doing until he had to be sent to jail and had to ponder on the fact that he was a really bad boyfriend slash significant other to the person that he was in love with, played brilliantly by Aditi Rao Hidari. Now, in Lover, Sri Gauri Priya does an excellent job, and I think that she deserves a lot of kudos because I've never seen her work before. I know she's done Telugu movies, but she really reminded me of Aditi Rao in Kaju Relede. And I think that she has a brilliant and bright future ahead of her because she does all the emotions so well in this movie. She plays trauma incredibly well, and you can feel the sadness that she's going through. I think that the director has done a great job of showing her character going through the pain and torture of this relationship by, silencing the surroundings whenever she gets a call from the main character played by Manikandan, and how, her eyes speak a lot through like the situations that she's put forward to because of this helicopter partner that she's, in love with. And yeah, technically Manikandan is the main character in this movie, but I feel like Sri Gauri Priya is the heart and soul of this film, and she deserves a lot of praise, and I hope she wins some awards for this role that she's done in this movie. Kudos to her. Manikandan, especially at a younger stage of someone's acting career, he could have easily made this character into a sympathetic, a Moss character in terms of how he is acting, in terms of like, yelling and screaming and emotionally abusing the other person. They could have easily blamed the other character and made a song that was like, like a Ghana, drunk song and saying like, oh, this is how relationships are, whatever. But I really appreciated the fact that he's allowed the script to take precedence and allow the script to showcase this character in the way that the director wanted to. And he is not likable at all in this movie. For 99% of the film, he is pretty much an emotionally abusive individual. He is, doing whatever you can think of in terms of a toxic relationship towards Sri Gauri Priya's character. And, by the end of the movie, yes, there is a light at the end of the tunnel for both him and her characters. I still think that the director has done a brilliant job of not sugarcoating and not shying away from those intense situations that might happen with these two individuals. And again, Prabhuram Vyas has a great future ahead of him too, because I love the fact that he has not tried to make this into a conventional type of love story that we're used to seeing in Tamil cinema. I don't want to blame Tamil cinema in general. I feel like, romantic genre films in Tamil cinema are great. I love those comedies. I love those romantic dramas where, it's a little more lighthearted, or even if it's intense, it's kind of palatable. Lover, like Kachu Relede, is a difficult watch and it's not fun, but it's a necessary watch, and it's a watch that you must understand that there are relationships like this, and there is a way to get out of it, and there is a way to, survive and live a beautiful and meaningful life after this. But if you don't show it in a realistic way, people might think that, oh, If you just do a cute thing by buying someone a gift or, just asking sorry and begging for forgiveness, you could still be together. Sometimes it's best to leave each other. And I feel like, you know, as realistic as this film is, I know a lot of people, sadly, that are still in relationships because they feel like there's no other way to get out. There is a way to leave a person. It's just that the person needs to build up some strength and build up a way for them to understand that they need to do whatever is right for their own selves. Yes, every situation is different, but if you want to learn something from Lover, then I would say that the one thing that we can learn is that we need to love ourselves first. If you love yourself first, then everything around you will start to get better. It will be an uphill battle, but by the end of it, you will understand that it is best that, in this case for these two characters, maybe the love didn't need to go as long as it should have. Yes, it might take some people a long time to realize that, but as long as they understand that what they want is the best thing in the world, if they want, peace and harmony, and if they want to be in a loving relationship, maybe it's best to leave that relationship that is causing them a lot of pain and trauma, so on and so forth. I rambled a little bit there, but I really hope that it changes some people's minds when watching this movie. I really hope that it gives some people hope and gives some people the strength to analyze their own lives and their own relationships and see whether or not they're really with the right person or not. Because sometimes you won't really see or hear things until you see it from a third person. And in this case, cinema is a brilliant way to understand that sometimes it's best that we need to move on and find a new person, or maybe find ourselves before we even find a new person. So again, I give Lover a 10 out of 10. Excellent movie. But again, if you've ever been in a bad situation, please be advised before watching the film. So give me your feedback on the movie. Let me know what your thoughts were. And once you've seen the film, let me know in the comments below your thoughts on Lover.